Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. And I know I have not posted any sort of recent things, but it's been getting into draft season, so I've been focusing more on that. And I'm just gonna give you a complete mock draft with trades and stuff like that. So let's just get into it. It will be 7 rounds total. So there is that. You're gonna have to prepare for all that jazz. Um, but it should just be a fun little thing here. Alright, so pick 1 is gonna be none other than Bryce Young, quarterback, Alabama. Just the Texans need a quarterback, and Bryce Young seems to be the undisputed #1 overall pick. So just gonna rock with him. I mean, I guess I could see him going with Jalen Carter or Will Anderson or something, thinking as next year's quarterback class is good, and they kind of are gonna stink no matter what they do. So I guess just getting the franchise quarterback now, getting that out of the way, is probably one of the more valuable things they can do for their team. Now for the Bears, at pick 2, this is quite interesting. There's a lot of different routes they could go here. They could protect Fields with Paris Johnson. They could try and establish an edge with Will Anderson. They could try and build a very good interior with Jalen Carter. Or even give Justin Fields a weapon in Quentin Johnson or Jordan Addison as some of the other receivers here, or Kayshon Boutte. A lot of these guys are available, and I think they'll be available down the board. And this is going to be weird, but I really do think there will be a very interesting trade-up that happens. We're going to go in, and we're going to click this, and we're going to be, it's going to be a Bears Commanders trade, hopefully, as this will go through, I would guess. Bears are going to give up pick 2. Washington will give up pick 14 and their first round pick next year. Their second this year and their second next year. And I think this will go through. It has been accepted. Washington's on the clock. So the final trade is Commanders get pick 2. The Bears get pick 14 and 45 and a first and a second next year. So the Commanders move up with the good team they already have, and they're like, you know what? Why not? Let's just go ahead and build the future of the team at quarterback. And this is probably going to surprise some people. I like him as much as any of the quarterbacks in the class because of the potential of them. Anthony Richardson is the pick. I see a lot of development there. I basically see Josh Allen just out of Florida. And a lot of people would say, why not CJ Stroud there in that spot? CJ Stroud played with a better team. He led them to the playoffs. And I'm like, Anthony Richardson has way higher development. And I think you just got to go with the guy who is by far the better runner, possibly, in my opinion. And I think you just got to go with it. Alright, so at pick 3 then, this is going to leave Seattle in an interesting spot. I do think they will, excuse me, I had a voice crack. I do think they are going to keep Geno Smith. So I do not see them going with quarterback here. I really don't. So at pick 3, I do think they could trade down. They're a team that's definitely looking to, move back, as a lot of other teams do need the quarterback position. But I just don't really know what team is gonna bite in that aspect of it. The Raiders are probably the only team that really comes to mind that might trade up, but really depends on if they get Brady or not. I think we're gonna stick with Seattle at this pick. I think they have to continue to build up that defense, and an interior defensive lineman is super hard to come by. Jalen Carter is the pick for Seattle, and they get a very big stud inside of that defense. Excuse the ads and everything up there. It's the stupid mock draft simulator thing. They have so many ads on it. At pick 4, Cardinals aren't gonna go with quarterback. They have Kyler Murray. They're locked into him. They have to build something that's not atrocious there in Arizona. In terms of the defense, it's atrociously bad. They have to get another corner to be able to cover these extra receivers. Byron Murphy has looked great. Trayvon Mullen has looked like buns, but I still think they should keep him. It's, for me, an undisputed pick. The Cardinals are going to go with Cam Smith out of South Carolina. I don't think a lot of people will like that pick, but I think they need to build a defense, and I do think Cam Smith is basically J.C. Horn. I see a lot of the same traits in both of those guys. So, big move there for the Cardinals trying to expand their defense. Now the Colts at 5 have a dream scenario. They have an opportunity to take C.J. Stroud, Will Levis. Those are the 2 top quarterbacks left, unless they want to take a huge shot on Hendon Hooker. They're going to go with C.J. Stroud here. No doubt about it. If any quarterback's available at this spot, they'll probably take him. C.J. Stroud is a great weapon piece for the Colts offense and whoever they bring in as a coach. I think, me personally, I think it will be Kellen Moore, the Dallas offensive coach, but you'll have to build around such a bad roster, and you got to get a quarterback to do that. You can't have Matt Ryan or Nick Foles or Sam Ehlinger slinging the ball for you. So C.J. Stroud will be the pick. Number 6, this is a weird spot. The Lions, I do think, want to take a quarterback, but I think this is a little bit too early for Levis, but I do think the Raiders would possibly take him, or the Panthers. And I think they know that, so I don't think they can physically trade down from here and move on. But Jared Goff, if they really believe in him, and I mean this is a big if, but if they truly believe in him, they will stick with him. And I think they do. I think they just have to get another young quarterback in there. Will Levis, quarterback, Kentucky, is the pick at number 6. Falcons probably would have taken him too, so it's just the fact that Will Levis is probably my favorite quarterback in the class, but he's by far the most raw, in my opinion, so I do think he'll slide down draft boards. The Atlanta Falcons are up next at number 7. Now, this is a spot where I could see him trading down because they don't need a lot of these positions up here besides edge, really. And there are some really good edge pieces up here. I don't know. There's a couple teams I think would be very interested in trading up to further develop some guys. And the Steelers are one of those teams. Oddly enough, I do think they would be aggressive here. And try and move up with the Falcons. So, the Falcons will give up pick 7. Steelers give up pick 15 and 33. I don't know if that'll go through. It was declined. We're gonna have to keep trying this trade, as I do think the Steelers would move up. But, you never know these days. You don't really know what they need. So, I guess they don't want to move up, which is fine. But, there's not a whole bunch of guys I think the Falcons would consider taking here. And for that reason, I do think they should trade down, but obviously no one really wants to, so Will Anderson's the pick. He's probably the best player in the class. Just not a whole lot of teams that really need them. Like in terms of a true edge talent. Like, I don't think a lot of teams would really pick him because of that. So I think he'll slide down the board just a bit. Now, pick 8. The Vegas Raiders are in a tough spot. You know, Derek Carr is probably out of there. Give me a second. I gotta get some water. But Derek Carr is probably out of there. So, what are you gonna do? You're gonna try and bring in Garoppolo or Brady, and I think that's the only thing you can do. You gotta get a nice bridge to your next quarterback. And Brady can do that, so if they want to build around Brady, go ahead and do it. I just think they have to continue to power up that offense. And the defense, as Chandler Jones has just sucked. So, Myles Murphy's the pick. I was going to go with Paris Johnson, but Myles Murphy does seem to make more sense to me. Just a pure edge rusher that they need, because Chandler Jones has been a complete waste of money for them. Now at pick 9. The Panthers, I do think they can keep Sam Darnold and be fine with it. Oh, this is the Panthers. Yeah, the Panthers. They can keep Sam Darnold and be fine with it. So, I'm not really too concerned there. Main thing for me is you gotta have weapons around those types of guys. And I think they're willing to invest in a pretty good weapon. Quentin Johnson, wide receiver, TCU, is going to Carolina, and he will be great for them. And next pick is pretty easy for me. Kelee Ringo, corner, Georgia, to the Eagles. James Bradbury, you just don't know if he's going to stay. So, I'm going to go with Kelee Ringo. Now at number 11, the Titans. They're in a really weird spot. You really do need to build a line. But also your quarterback sucks. So maybe in the second round you move up for Hendon Hooker. But I do have a pick here for them, taking a tackle, as Taylor Lewan will be cut as it saves $14 million. Broderick Jones, tackle, Georgia is the pick. Really just the fact that I think he is one of the better tackles in the class, and I do think he'd fit the Titans' run-heavy scheme. Now the Texans are up again, and you have to build around your future franchise quarterback, and you got to do that with Jordan Addison, wide receiver, USC. Jordan Addison and Bryce Young are the future of the Texans. Now here at pick 13, the Jets, they're in a weird spot. And I think this is fairly easy. Go ahead and improve your O-line. Your left tackle spot is so old. Get Paris Johnson on that team. You need a good protector for your future quarterback, whoever that may be. Now the Bears here at 14, they're in a scenario where they moved back and they gained a lot of draft pick value. And the board I don't think has shaped up exactly how they were expecting. Their defense is bad. Now don't get me wrong, that is just a fact. It is bad. But you have to build around Fields, and he is running a lot. I think they gotta go Kayshon Boutte here. You gotta give him a super reliable option there at receiver, and Kayshon Boutte can do that at LSU. So they moved back, and they got the guy I was probably going to take for them at 2. And that's saying something. I have really high aspirations for Kayshon Boutte, and I really do think he'd fit with the Bears. Steelers here at 15. They have to improve linebacker, and I think that's just simply what they will do. Trenton Simpson, linebacker, Clemson, I think is going to be the pick here. They just have to get better at that spot. Miles Jack really has not been that good, and Devin Bush has been a big bust for them. You gotta try and improve that linebacker spot. Now, Packers here. This is kind of weird. I don't really know what they're gonna take, but I really am starting to lean towards Brian Branch. And now that will be the pick, but Adrian Amos is going to be gone after this year, and they're going to need to replace him. And I think Brian Branch can do that. You bring in another young safety, and you're just rebuilding your defense piece by piece as they leave. So, I think that's a really good pick for the Packers. Now here at pick 17, the Detroit Lions. They're back up. They got their future franchise quarterback in Will Levis. And at this spot, I think they have to build around Levis. And they have to give him some blocking. Peter Skoronski is the pick. I think they have serviceable weapons by far. And I really do think Skoronski can really help that line that I do think has struggled. So, the tackle out of Northwestern improves now to probably be the best offensive line in football in Detroit. So, Will Levis will have nothing short of pass blockers there in Detroit. Here now at pick 18, the Seahawks. I don't know. They're a team that's kinda moseying down now with their pick of Jalen Carter, I believe, earlier, right? Yeah. Jalen Carter, the interior D lineman. They have to continue to build that defense. And this is going to sound weird, but if you just dominate the middle, you're going to be fine. Brian Brzee is the pick here for me. They have a stud interior D-line now. That D-line is set with Uchenna Nwosu and Boye Mafe coming off the edge. You have nothing to worry about. Jacksonville now, on the clock. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen here. They're a team I could see trading down, as they probably want more assets, and I do think they will try here. I don't know how if this will even go through, but the Bills are a team I could see moving up for this pick. And, I mean, they don't want it right now, but maybe if we sweeten the pot here with Jacksonville, I think they would easily take it. I don't know, it's... Excuse me. Apparently, I mean, I guess they just don't want it, but I don't know. I guess Jacksonville could settle here. I think they could settle down, and they're going to take Tyree Wilson. Edge out of Texas Tech. I see a lot of similarities with him and K'Lavon Chaisson, their former first-round pick edge player a couple years ago. And that is frightening, because K'Lavon Chaisson sucks. But Tyree Wilson, I think, is gonna be what the man K'Lavon Chaisson could not be. So I think that's just what they're gonna have to go with Tyree Wilson, because I wasn't able to get the trade down with Buffalo, as I do think they're gonna try and get Bijan Robinson. Here now, the Buccaneers, they're probably not gonna have a quarterback, so this makes it quite interesting. Because Tom Brady's going to leave. I don't know if they're going to roll with Kyle Trask or not. They have to get everything possible for that player to come in and succeed. And they're going to get Michael Mayer, tight end, Notre Dame. They need someone to come in and help that quarterback even more, as that would be extraordinary for them. And they're going to be able to have probably the best offense in the league. The line, their O-line is super good, but it just hasn't been healthy this year. You have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Michael Mayer, and Russell Gage. That's a pretty good offense, and you sprinkle a little bit of Scotty Miller in there. You're going to have a really, really good offense there. Now here at pick 21, the New England Patriots are up. They like to pick defense, and we all know it. Noah Sewell is gonna be the pick. Dante Hightower has gotten too old. Noah Sewell will replace him, linebacker out of Oregon. Just really like him as a pick. I was about to go with him for Detroit's pick, but he's kind of slid down the board a bit, so I don't think... I mean, obviously, Penei Sewell's gonna want it because it's his brother, but, I just don't think it'd be the right move. Now the Giants up here, pick 22. The Ravens are salivating at a chance to get Bijan Robinson. It's almost a dream that he will fall. Almost a dream. And it will be the dream and it will become a reality. The Giants are going to end up going Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. They need to get some weapons for Daniel Jones. He has struggled to even get remote weapons, and it's been terrible for him. He's shown so much promise, and yet they just refuse to get him weapons. That's going to change with Brian Daboll. They're getting Jackson Smith-Njigba, wide receiver, Ohio State. And I was just talking about this. Baltimore salivating over Bijan Robinson. They're going to get him here. I don't care about J.K. Dobbins. Bijan Robinson is a legendary back. He will be one of the best running backs of all time. That's what high praise I have for that man. Just so quick. To me, he seems like Derrick Henry, but smaller. Like, imagine compacting Derrick Henry into a Dalvin Cook size. That is what Bijan Robinson is. The Chargers, up at pick 24. They don't know what they want. I mean, obviously they do in real life, but I don't know what they would want here. They got a good team. You gotta move off of J.C. Jackson if they can find a way to do that. And you gotta replace him. You're gonna go Joey Porter Jr., corner, Penn State. You need to be able to build up a defense that is somewhat remarkable with all the players you have. Up here, the Bengals, I have to take this man. Isaiah Fields would be amazing. He'd be like Trey Hendrickson for them, and they just have basically Trey Hendrickson coming off of both sides. And it's one heck of a thing. Now the Vikings here pick 26, and this is pretty high praise. They think we're going to win one playoff game, which I actually do think will happen. Very excited. You know why? Because we're good. Let's go, man. Pick 26. The Vikings are going to be able to get one of the better players in the class. We are getting none other than Christian Gonzalez, corner, Oregon. Christian Gonzalez is going to be great for Minnesota. He will find ways to make plays. And I know that. Duke Shelley, Patrick Peterson, Christian Gonzalez. That's a great corner trio. Now here with Dallas. I really just think they need a safety, and Antonio Johnson's the best guy on the board. So, Antonio Johnson is going to be the new safety of the Dallas. They don't have a lot of holes to fill. So, that is what it is. Denver has to build around Russ. It has just looked terrible for them, and I think anything you can do to protect him is going to be fine. And Osiris Torrance is the pick, guard out of Florida. To me, I really think they just needed to get that done. You gotta protect your quarterback that's going to be there for a long time. So, that is the pick. Here, Buffalo, I think they have to just continue to build around Josh Allen, obviously, and best way for them to do that, in my opinion, is to get another receiver, and that is Josh Downs, wide receiver out of North Carolina. Just give Josh Allen everything. Give him your offense. Give him the keys to the stadium, like they did in the Progressive commercial with Baker Mayfield. And just let him run the team.